Welcome, Taurus. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your full moon in Cancer reading, active on the 3rd of January in the new year. This is a wolf full moon. It is uh, uh, resonating with the Northern Hemisphere calendar timeline, so that the wolf howls at this time of the year in a way that is amplified by a very barren landscape. All life in the winter months are below, are buried, are withdrawn, so that the landscape is barren, apparently lifeless, and is covered in snow in many cases, signifying the way that we are crystallizing and healing ourselves in preparation for springtime activity. The wolf's howl resonates, echoes through this environment, and signals unique creation, power, intuition, and protection of what it is that the wolf has built and created, this unique expression of presence. So that energy is particularly impactful in the area of your life where you are communicating with others, where you are sharing and gathering information. Perhaps you are communicating with intimates, or you are active in your neighborhood community or close to home. The overall energy for this reading is the Wheel of Fortune, which is all about the change that you are experiencing in this way that you recognize you can now express yourself to others and with others based on your experience. You may have reached a dramatic change in status in your life so that you don't need to communicate in the same way that you once did. For instance, if you were in school and you're now at a job, the necessity to communicate has different purposes. And so you are shifting to a more elevated and experienced way of communicating, so that you communicate the information that you want to in a more effective, practical way that is not so much about engaging in ideas and theories as perhaps was the case in school in your educational experience. Underneath the deck is a Six of Pentacles, where you are focusing on how the way you communicate with others impacts the way that you work with others, so that your ability to exchange information, work, labor, money, contribution is something that starts more authentically with your own desires, so that you understand that in order to reach an agreement with others, to create a functional and healthy, balanced relationship, you have to declare what you want as at least a beginning point of a negotiation, and thus a healthy compromise that everyone can live with. In the 10th house, your social identity, the way others see you. The Five of Swords is telling me that you have really experienced a tremendous amount of doubt based on the communication you've received from others. This can be a kind of evacuating some challenge or battle that you realize is really not yours to fight, or is better left for another time. So I feel you picking your battles, realizing that everything doesn't need to be declared and determined right now, particularly as you are aware that there are other battles, other challenges that you are coming to face, that putting yourself forward in this particular instance could undermine those possible goals or opportunities. So I do feel that you are trying to refocus on what really matters, not on what others are demanding or telling you matters in this instance, but what you know matters to you in the long run. And this represents a really nuanced way that you are learning to uh, finesse your communications with others, not reacting, not responding. And that feels as though that is a habit or a customary response to jump back with a response without necessarily having the space or detachment to know how to respond in a way that is more measured and can provide the opportunity to keep going, to keep working on something for a more appropriate environment. In the first house, the Chariot. Yeah, this is beautiful because you are focused on something that is not necessarily involved in the work that your community, your collective, your team, your family is engaged in. You're really focusing on your own desires, the things that matter to you, your family, your place in your family, or a talent that you have that really needs some priority, and a lot it needs for you to create space where you can exercise this talent, where you can grow it, where you can focus on it and allow it to progress and advance towards a place that you would be satisfied is successful. And it requires you not tending to what others demand or put out there all the time, or responding necessarily, reacting to others. That just takes the energy away and really unfocuses you from channeling the attention appropriately into what it is you want to accomplish. In the fourth house, the house of your family, your home, your domestic environment. This is even your roots. The King of Pentacles, this feels like it's been showing up for you, Taurus, quite a bit, and appropriately so. You indeed are the mistress, the master of your own material experience. You create comfort. You create harmony and balance. You invest in your security and stability. Your home is important to you, not just as a place where you can retreat, but a place where you can be generous, where you can share your process, share your values, your principles with others who seek your guidance, who you support in some way or another. And support doesn't necessarily mean giving money to a cause or giving things to others. It can absolutely be just, if not more valuable, to contribute your time, your advisement, your wisdom. In the seventh house, the Queen of Pentacles, this is lovely. This, for many of you, is indicating a very strong, solid partnership. And this indicates that there is someone that you rely on who anchors your home base. That someone could be you, but that you then open up to that complement, someone who works with you towards a goal. This can be anything from a partner to a sibling, to a lover, to a spouse. This can be a work colleague with whom you've joined to accomplish something, and it really does feel like you are setting up some kind of home improvement, the building or creating of something together, something that you will market or make available to a wide audience. This is clearly a partnership or a relationship in which you are building abundance, you're building prosperity, you're creating an income flow. This can be a job in which you have found a magical formulation for you, in which you have found the right position to increase the prospects for both you and uh, your employer or your business partner. If this reading is resonating for you, Taurus, please like this video. Please share this with others. Um, And I appreciate all of your subscribes to my channel, Pacific Tarot, all the ways you support me by your presence here. So thank you in advance. I'm going to clarify these cards and finish off with an oracle card. And the first house, the Chariot, is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. So the Queen of Pentacles clearly is a repeat. This is showing me you. This is showing how hard you have worked to create this base, this comfort, this opportunity, how much energy, how much of yourself you have given towards a particular goal. This may be the development of a talent that you have only intermittently been able to practice, but there's an opportunity now to give more of yourself and thereby create a victory. There's something right around the corner. You can feel it. You are tired, you are exhausted, you've been working on this vision, this talent for such a long time, but you now see victory around the corner. It's very close. And you continue to be that love, that nurturance, that attention that is in tune with those you're working with and the natural order of things. So you are inspired by the natural flow. Whatever this particular project or process is, you are very close to experiencing a success. But giving your all is part of the reward here, part of the victory, that this talent or skill has never exhausted itself within you. You may be physically throwing yourself towards the completion of this project. You may have some trust issues around folks you've worked with in the past, but you now see a partnership or a way in which you're anchoring your own control over your environment so that this is plentiful, this is bountiful for you. And this satisfies that desire to create the harmony and the aesthetic balance that is so important to you, Taurus. The King of Pentacles in the fourth house is clarified by the Ten of Cups and the Knight of Swords. Wow. So I do see you detaching yourself from a lot of the emotions or a lot of the feelings that you have experienced along the way. And this feels like it's particular to your home environment, perhaps the relationships within or around your home. This can be family relationships. This can be relationships with your community as examples. But the Knight of Swords says, okay, I choose to see those as abundant. I choose to see those relationships as positive and prosperous. I choose to give to those relationships, recognizing that they benefit and profit me. And I choose to not measure my contribution, but to accept that I get as much, if not more, back, not just in literal terms, but in terms of the process itself. This giving, this collaboration, this sharing and communicating in a productive, joyful way is reward in and of itself. And for you, Taurus, at this time, I see this aspect, the process of sharing productively with others, creating joy, learning things, being in social communion with others as being its own reward, being an emblematic of the kind of environment that you would like to create in the world. In the seventh house of significant others, the Queen of Pentacles is clarified by the Death and the Five of Wands. Interesting. I do see a shift in your role or your energy. So that kind of came up in the beginning, where you are looking at how you're communicating and how you're getting work done with others. I do see you releasing the role of the provider, the nurturer. And this is a really difficult role for you to release. Even if you haven't always exemplified that or practiced that in your life consistently, you are attached to the idea of it, what it means, what it requires, even if you don't feel successful in all aspects of that. However, you're changing, you're trying to step into a broader sense of community in which you're not caring for others who require your guidance or care, but you are interacting with others productively who are your peers, your equals, and who have as much to say as you do. This is a big shift because you're now looking at the world in a less static way. You being the queen of a domestic environment or your team or the mother, literally, of an effort or a project to one in which you are part of a team that is learning, consciously learning. This learning laboratory becomes a place where you are experiencing the growth of your own process, your ability to communicate, to see others, to assume their equity with you. So this is not about tending to what others need or helping others. This is about being productively engaged in a process that produces something. This is about building something with others and how you communicate and how you learn, as well as how you teach what you know. In the 10th house, the Five of Swords is clarified by the Five of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. Everyone has been getting the Five of Pentacles, and this feels to me to be very much in sync with this January energy of the new year, in which we continue to challenge the way we've been defined. We continue to challenge that within ourselves, how we were supposed to be, how we erred or conformed with that. And so I see you putting a lot of energy into creating a different definition of who you are. But nevertheless, Taurus, hardworking Taurus, is continuing to understand that everything needs structure. And the structure that you have contributed to many successful projects of others, you now understand must be the scaffolding around which you develop this success of your own. You develop this interaction and engagement with a team of equals, collaborators, those who you respect and treat in the way you want to be treated, those to whom you are learning to communicate more effectively than react to as you have in the past. So I see you building so much trust and effort, discipline in the way that you work with others and you resist traditional roles and responsibilities. That you understand agreements are what you and others agree to and make. Relationships define your contribution, who you are, not what someone long ago once told you was the way it was supposed to be. This is really productive for you, and you are being seen as someone who is willing and open to growing, to changing, but towards a productive end. I'm going to finish this reading for you with an oracle card, and I've pulled the adversity card, and it reads, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. This too feels very productive for you by recognizing that you are reshaping the way that you communicate, the way that you learn, the way that you think about yourself as a learner is really allowing you to move very rapidly towards more productive, more harmonious relationships. Thank you, Taurus, for this reading. I appreciate all your likes and your subscribes. And until next time, namaste.